Believing I Could by Kymberlyn Tschirhart. When I got to high school, I never really felt like I had something I was good at. I was okay at sports and my grades were fine, but nothing made me stand out. Then one day, my computer teacher, Mrs. Coleapple, saw my strength in her class and suggested that I join an organization called Business Professionals of America, or BPA. In BPA, you compete in business-related events from the regional competition to state and then nationals. I joined and started a team that would compete in an event called Presentation Management. I was scared to lead a team because I had never been a leader before, but Mrs. Coleapple reassured me and taught me everything I needed to know about presentation management and how to be a good leader. Regionals rolled around and my team got first, which meant we made it to state. We traveled to state and finished competing, but we had to wait to see the results. After a long and nerve-wracking wait, Mrs. Coleapple walked into our hotel room with tears in her eyes and told us we didn't make it to nationals. I felt defeated. I tried so hard, but once again I was just mediocre at something. My group and I felt like quitting, but Mrs. Coleapple pushed us to try again for our senior year. When the next year came up, my group and Mrs. Coleapple were determined to go to nationals. She never let us get discouraged, and we always knew she believed in us. My team made first at regionals and qualified for state again. We presented at state and were waiting for the results again. This time, there was even more pressure because it was our last shot. After hours of waiting for the results, Mrs. Coleapple ran up to us with her arms in the air, yelling, "You made it," over and over again. A couple of months later, my team and I traveled to nationals and we placed third in the nation for our event. Without Mrs. Coleapple believing in us every step of the way, we wouldn't have made it to nationals. In William Ayer's To Teach, The Journey of a Teacher, he says, "Somehow we must reach out to each student. We must meet each one." He explains each student comes in with their own unique abilities and that teachers should explore that with every student they have. This is exactly what Mrs. Coleapple did for me. She saw I was lost and cared enough to recognize my strengths and turn them into something that made a huge impact on the rest of my life. One day, when I become an educator, I hope I can make a difference in my students' lives just like Mrs. Coleapple did for me.